Hello, people. This is a last minute stream. I wasn't sure whether I was going to drop a video today or if I was just going to do if I was going to do a live. At the last minute, I decided to do a live. And the main reason, a couple interesting things. You know, people are saying to me all the time, "Hey, Lee, stop doing the drama. Talk a little bit about mobster stuff." And that's what I'm going to do today. This is strictly going to be mobster stuff. One of these things may not be mobster stuff, but there's a hit involved. There was this guy named Jermaine Dixon. Now, Jermaine Dixon was basically a guy, he did 20 years for murder. And he got out about a year ago. And they say he's been going to school and doing well, but who knows what they're saying, if any of that's actually true. The fact of the matter is, this guy was killed, basically taken out, and it was on video. It was an unbelievable hit. I mean, the hit was done by a guy dressed up as an Hasidic Jew. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen this by now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this hit right now, and I'm using somebody else's video, and I'm giving them. Let me see. Well, let me just pull them up, and then I'll tell you about it. Okay, this is from Perfect Ghetto. This is the guy that's doing this actual. He put this video on, and it's a new channel. He has like 163 subscribers, but his video he put up got 4,000 views so far, and pretty much it's on this. I'm going to wait a couple minutes, let some more people get in here before I show it. But the thing about this hit was, I don't think they're ever going to catch the guy, and they don't know what color the guy is. He basically had gloves on his hands. And when he came up behind this poor guy never had a chance. So whoever wanted to take him out basically knew that they had to have the perfect hit. And this was set up as the perfect hit. And that's what I'm going to show you here. And you guys can give me your feedback on it. And also, I'm going to give you, there's an article that John Pennisi did. And as people know here, when I put up articles, I'm not too fond of John Pennisi. And if you go back to any of my videos, you would see that. But when John Pennisi comes out with something in his blog, and it kind of makes a lot of sense, and it has to do with Gangland News, and Gangland News is the Babe Ruth of mafia genre, basically. Jerry Capisci is like the guy. He writes a lot of stories. He's considered a very accurate source. And I'm going to be reporting John Pennisi's story. And then you guys, once again, make your decision on what you think about the story that John Pennisi put out about the mistake that Gangland News made. Or was it a mistake? No one knows whether it's a mistake. This is what John Pennisi's writing. But if it is a mistake, if you're going to call somebody a rat, if once you put that label on that person, especially if it's a gangster, and this gangster's been around for a long time, he's an older guy, and if you're saying that he's a government witness and he's coming forward, and then what you're doing is you're labeling him that, and then you take the story down a couple days after you do the story, that's just a very strange thing to go on. And if you did do that, are you going to issue this guy an apology? I mean, or maybe it's true and you just took the story down because the government put pressure on you to take the story down. Okay, so this was just recent, this hit, but I'm going to show it to you right now, guys. Let me pull up the other side here. And once again, Perfect Ghetto put this up, and I like the way he did it. That's why I'm using him. But, you know, what I'm going to have to do real quick is take this down and make sure I have the volume on it. Just give me 1 minute. I'll pull it right back up. Okay. Okay, people, just have a little patience with me for 1 minute. If I do not hit the share volume, you will not get volume on it. Okay, I got it done correctly now. And here we go with this. Let me get this out here. And here we go.
YouTube back again, another episode. Welcome to the Perfect Ghetto. Today's show got a...
Now you see the guy in the background with the jacket in his arm. He's walking to his car. And this guy right here with the hood open, he's dressed, either he is an Hasidic Jew hitman or he's dressed up as one.
Be about the Hasidic Assassin. Now this took place out in Queens, right? So you got this guy, he's dressed up like a Hasidic Jew. I don't know if he was actually a Jew or he's just impersonating one. But anyway, it's broad daylight. He's fixing his car. Maybe something happened to his car. You know, he's trying to put a little fix on it so he can go about his business. But in this video I'm about to show you, he's clearly...
So look at that. He's got him targeted. This guy's back's turned. That's it. It's over. As long as that gun does not jam, it's over. But
waiting for this person right here. He's about to enter the screen. His name is Jermaine Dixon, 46 years old, out of Georgia. You know what he's doing in Queens? I have no idea. But they also said Jermaine Dixon, you know, he was a man of the streets and did some time in jail. He was a convicted murderer. And at the time of his death, right now, they said he had about $10,000 on him, which you can see in the video. This, you know, the Hasidic Jew he's reaching for, but I guess he didn't have enough time. He felt he was going to be spotted. So he runs back to the car, drops the hood. And
let's stop him right there. 2 shots behind the head. Now, here's the thing that's weird. They say that Jermaine Dixon had cleaned up his life, just got out, but he was also known as an informant. But they found $10,000 in his car, the guy that was shot. So that's weird. Who carries $10,000 around in their car? Let's finish this off.
Takes off. Wow. Clean getaway. But, you know, this is just breaking story. Nobody's really sure what went down, who was behind the mask, if it was indeed a Jewish person. It could have been a feds for all I know. You know, it could have been a grandmother. But anyway, you know, I'm just putting y'all up on game. It's the Perfect Ghetto. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And that's what it is. Yeah, what's going on?
I'm going to show this hit one more time. I'm not going to say nothing. You guys watch it. There comes Jermaine Davis walking toward his car.
YouTube back again, another episode. Welcome to the Perfect Ghetto. Today's show got to be about the Hasidic Assassin. Now this took place out in Queens, right? So you got this guy, he's dressed up like a Hasidic Jew. I don't know if he was actually a Jew or he's just impersonating one. But anyway, it's broad daylight. He's fixing his car. Maybe something happened to his car. You know, he's trying to put a little fix on it so he can go about his business. But in this video I'm about to show you, he's clearly waiting for this person right here. He's about to enter the screen. His name is Jermaine Dixon, 46 years old, out of Georgia. You know what he's doing in Queens? I have no idea. But they also said Jermaine Dixon, you know, he was a man of the streets and did some time in jail. He was a convicted murderer. And at the time of his death, right now, they said he had about $10,000 on him, which you can see in the video. This, you know, the Hasidic Jew he's reaching for, but I guess he didn't have enough time. He felt he was going to be spotted. So he runs back to the car, drops the hood, and he takes off. Wow. Clean getaway. But, you know, this is just breaking story. Nobody's really sure what went down, who was behind the mask, if it was indeed a Jewish person. It could have been a feds for all I know. You know, it could have been a grandmother. But anyway, you know.
Okay. I find that quite fascinating. I mean, if you were going to do the perfect hit, that was the perfect hit. Especially, you know, nowadays when you commit a crime, the biggest problem is there's cameras everywhere. So this hitman knew there was cameras everywhere. And so he dressed up as an Hasidic Jew. They gave him the right to cover his head and his face. He had on a mask. He used a virus to cover his face up for the mask. He had gloves on his hands too, so you couldn't tell what color he is. So will they ever solve this murder? I don't think so, unless somebody comes forward and raps. Now, just so you know about this Jermaine Dixon, the guy that got killed, he was in jail for 20 years, prison, I'm sorry. He was in prison for 20 years for murder. And his brother is in prison for murder right now. And they were part of a crew called the Patio Crew. And this Patio Crew was a big drug dealing crew, very well organized, as Antonio was saying in the chat room. And the brother is serving time, and he put from what they're saying is he murdered a very big guy. And was it a murder toward this guy, or was it a revenge toward his brother, or was it both of them? But the fact of the matter is, that's that. We'll never know, because I don't think they're ever going to catch anybody. And when you think about that, when you see a hit that perfect, and this is the biggest problem now. If you're going to be in organized crime, there's cameras everywhere. You can't do anything. In the old days, you could run up and beat someone up and get away with it. Now you could be out in the middle of the forest and there's a camera. So, and this guy seemed like he was a very professional hitman. And, the funny thing is, you got people saying maybe he was really an Hasidic Jew. Maybe he was part of a black gang. And because this Jermaine Dixon was part of a black drug gang. Who knows what he was? Because it was the perfect outfit. And if anybody's going to school right now to become a hitman, you just watched a professor. He was a professor hitman right there. He was like teaching you how to do it when you really think about it. So now we're going to have a rash of Hasidic Jews running around the city, taking people out. And it's kind of, hey, listen, I feel sorry for Jermaine, but Jermaine was a murderer. He was a drug dealer. He had a lot of drugs. He had a lot of money in his car, $10,000. That's what the cops found. Maybe they found more, if you know what I mean. But and also being an informant didn't help. I mean, I'm sure that he's had people that he had to have informed on. So it could be so many people that took him out. But I really wanted to show this today because a friend of mine that sends me emails all the time sent me that email, I would say about maybe a week ago, maybe less than that. But I found it just a fascinating story. Any feedback on that, people? Let me see. New York crime. Jermaine Dixon's brother, Emile Gibson, is serving life for murder, and they were both members of the patio crew out of Brooklyn. This is definitely a revenge hit. New York City crime spot. I appreciate that. And I don't know if you did anything on it, but it is a pretty fascinating story. So potentially someone he knew attempted to rob him. No, I don't think that was a robbery. They didn't even go into the car. That had nothing to do with a robbery. That was just an outplane. They knew what they were going to do. They wanted to take him down. Calm and collected. Yes, it was. I mean, you can't get any more calm than that. No more collected. Great point. JC, how you doing? Once a Hasidic Jew does the hit, he runs off like an NFL running back. Yeah, I get the drift. He didn't run off like an Hasidic Jew running back. Okay, most likely a revenge hit. And Antonio, yep, and Antonio knows his stuff. I'll tell you that much. And Tony knows his stuff. And they was the patio crew a set or just a crew of their own? Professional hitman, the end, of course. Definitely a professional hitman. They pushed a lot of drugs and were known to be violent. Yes, they were. And it's just like the American mafia. If you are violent, the chances are things are going to end violent for you. And that's what happened here. It ended very violent for this man. And you know what's the funny part? It's not funny. I'm not trying to get a laugh out of this, but he was coming out of school where that basically was a 2-year college. He just had gotten out of class. But they also said that this guy, Jermaine Dixon, has been very scared lately. And they said that every time he walked out, he always was very careful. But it just goes to show you that if someone wants to kill you, you could only, how careful can you be? It only takes one thing like that. I mean, if you're coming out of a school like this guy was, and you see an Hasidic Jew with his hood up, I mean, how many people are going to think much of that, especially if you're in an area full of Hasidic Jews? And that part of Queens is an Hasidic Jew neighborhood. So the guy just fit right into it. That's how well planned out this was. It was, yeah, maybe it was Ramondi, Jenny. I mean, I'm surprised Ramondi's not taking it. But listen, here's how we know it's not Ramondi, because if it was Ramondi, he would have shot him in the head 16 times, or was it 13 times? Okay, he would have shot him 13 times. He would have been standing over him and shooting him 13 times. Yeah, he was built pretty big, and he looked like he looked very athletic the way he moved. I mean, the way he ran back and stuff. It makes you think, though. Now, whenever you're a hitman like that and you do something like that, you don't know whether a cop's going to pull right up on the scene as you're doing this. So it's risky. As a half a Jew myself, I would think that the real Jew would have taken that money. Okay. Okay. We'll leave that. Maz says anybody can dress as anything and do anything. And watching cameras are essentially useless. Maz, you're absolutely right. Cameras are so good, if through the disguise. That's why these kids now wear the hoodies and they cover up the face and stuff. Cameras are so good, only so good. But here's the thing with cameras, though. A lot of people that do crimes, they run away. They'll go a couple blocks, then take their guys off. And we see this happen on shows on the ID channel. And when that happens, that's that. Lee, can you leave the link below so I can come on and say hello? Story of, yeah, Sean, I could do that. If anybody else wants to come on, but I got to see your face, people, or I got to know you. Here's the link right there. Okay. I just wanted to cover that story. There's another story I want to cover too. Yes, today is this is no drama. This is drama free. This is gang stuff today, basically, because one of the knocks that I'll hear from people is, hey, Lee, get away from the drama. So, okay, today I'll get away from the drama. How's that? And we'll stick strictly with stories. Okay, the next story I want to talk about, I got to pull this up. Give me 1 minute, please. Okay, this is going to be from Sit Down News, Gangland, and it's called Gangland Blunder. And this is an article that was done by John Pennisi. And it's actually a pretty interesting article. It has to do with a guy named Dennis DeLuca. Oh, well, let me pull up Sean. Sean, how you doing today?
Hi, Lee.
So did you see that? Did you see that video I put up of the hit?
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
I mean, did you see that before, or was this the first time?
That's the first time, but like when he turned and he acted like he was fixing his car and he turned, you knew like right there he was fully committed.
Yeah, and well, at least the poor bastard that got shot probably never felt a damn thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah, you got to figure that man's adrenaline was going. He ran full tilt. He was committed, all the way.
And what's funny too is when that guy was coming out of the school, he actually was very careful. You could see him looking, and he even looked over at the Hasidic Jew, and that was such a good disguise it fooled him. He just looked right at him. If you see the video, and he was committed to going into his car, and he had no fear at that point, which I guess that was the perfect costume.
Yeah, that's how fast it happens. It's scary.
Yeah, and that's what I try to, and a lot of these rats and stuff, they don't realize, a lot of them don't realize it could be over for them just like that, revenge. And that actually looked like a revenge thing because they just basically had it where they were going to take him out.
Yeah, you got the mask, you got the COVID stuff, that's a good disguise. I mean, the guy's sleeping like a baby the next day. Yeah, done deal.
I like what Zagazoo said. Maybe it wasn't a costume. Hey, Hey, listen, the Hasidic Jews do got gangs. The Jews are nobody to mess with.
No,
And if you,
the purple gang, Lee.
yeah, the Purple Gang. And
Yeah.
if you know, if you guys watch Peaky Blinders, uh, uh, have you ever watched Peaky Blinders, Sean?
No, Lee.
Well, that's a gang that was from Ireland, and it actually has them fighting and teaming up eventually with the actor Hardy plays the head of the Hasidic Jews group in that series. It's an excellent series. You should really watch it if you haven't before, if you like that kind of stuff.
Hey,
So,
Lee, I was gonna ask you, you know, in the 90s, I was real big on wrestling, you know, growing up.
yes.
I know you're passionate about wrestling.
No, I'm not passionate about wrestling. I know it because I know the sleazy side of wrestling. And
Right.
yeah, but
My question,
I know
yeah,
it really well.
my question is, you remember in the 90s when WCW, they were getting good traction in 96, 97, 98. They're doing Monday Night Nitro. And then
Yes.
you had that WWE or WWF doing Monday Night Raw. They were really close, right? WCW was taking over the ratings at that time, right?
For about a year and a half, they actually led the ratings.
They led the
But
ratings. Ted
yeah,
Turner.
but the problem with Ted Turner is he called up Vince McMahon and he said to Vince McMahon, "Hey Vince, I'm getting into the wrestling business." And then Vince McMahon said to him, "Well, Ted, you're going to learn one thing. You can come out fast and hard, but will you last?" And
Right.
he didn't last because they just couldn't keep paying that kind of money. They were taking all the help away from the WWF, and they were paying these guys a huge amount of money. And then they had people misrunning it, and they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
and
Like
they
Eric
just
Bischoff, he started off pretty strong, and then Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, those guys were a big pay bracket.
yeah, that's the problem. It doesn't matter how many people you get in the stands. It matters how many people are watching you on TV, your contracts, whether the money's being spent correctly, and it wasn't being spent correctly. Eric Bischoff was paying himself the most money, and he wasn't even the star. That was the biggest problem.
Right. And now on TNT, they have this other promotion. It's called AEW.
All right.
They're doing pretty good, and they got kind of a WCW feel, a little bit.
Yeah, and
So
you just got to watch them and see how they do. And the biggest mistake they make, they start trying to buy these other wrestlers. No one's going to outspend Vince McMahon. He's a billionaire.
right.
That's what it comes down to. And Vince McMahon, you know what Vince McMahon did back with the WCW? He was smart. He wanted to unload those salary guys. So those guys were breaking contracts and leaving. And Vince was happy about it because he wanted to break those contracts. So they played right into his hand.
But he ended up buying WCW, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
For almost nothing. Yep. Just okay. I'm going to talk about this next story real quick. Okay, so this has to do with, and I'm going to say DeLuca. The Italian way would be say Fat Dennis DeLuca. And there was a story that came out, and it was in Gangland News, and John Pennisi writes about it, and he calls it Gangland Blunder. Basically, Gangland, a one-sided column, indirectly identified Columbo Wise guy as a confidential witness. So John Pennisi saying it was a mistake. This guy was not a witness. Likely explanation for this amateur blunder points to the nation's foremost expert on America's mafia, the atheist Capici, whatever that means. Capici always has it in Pennisi, and Capici's been going at it big time. And I'm just going to say one thing right now. I'm not taking sides in this. I'm reporting this. And so people can make their determination. On December 26th, Sit Down News posted a blog, The Truth Behind Gangland's Jerry Capici, specifically detailing the Penn's flippy floppy character. Now, I'm not going to get into that part. I just want to get into the part of the mistake he made. This gentleman right here, his name is Dennis DeLuca, and he was involved a few years back with the wind. There was a bunch of people that were busted for in the 90s. Benny Eggs, Peter Gotti, and Vinny the Chin, and it was the Windows case when they were putting those windows in, and there was a big scam behind it and everything. All these guys got in big trouble. This guy was part of it. So what happened is, do you remember about 3 weeks ago when the whole Colombo clan was all busted, Sean?
Recently, yes.
Yeah. So this guy was part of that clan. And then Gangland News came out and said that he was the rat, one of the main rats. And then a couple of days later, they took the article down. And so basically what he's saying in this story, Pennisi is saying in this story is there going to be an apology from Capisci to this guy for putting him out there and calling him a rat because it could have cost him his life? And so let me just get to this part right there. It says right here, the next day, the story disappeared without explanation. Recently, a fresh story appeared in the column blaming persistent rumors and reports for the blunder. Unsurprisingly, Capisci pointed out his fingers at the usual reliable sources, personally taking zero accountability. The question remains, God forbid, Dennis DeLuca lost his life over this false, persistent rumor. What would the expert of American Mafia say? What could he tell DeLuca's family who lost a husband and father? No hard feelings. I did this for an extra $5. A public apology for the published blunder by Capisci would seem more appropriate. My advice to the DeLuca family is do not hold your breath. There is no moral compass to this one-man band called Gangland News. Now, I had people say to me, Lee, don't do this story, because Jerry Capisci is a very powerful man. And basically stay away from the story. Don't report it because he might come after me for reporting it. And he has a lot of friends in the government and all that. But if Jerry Capisci sees this, you have to understand, I'm reporting something that Pennisi did. And if you're going to come after me for doing this, oh, well, it's a story. You don't have the right to tell me what I could put up.
Lee, a cooperator posted this story you're talking about?
Pennisi wrote. Pennisi
really?
Put it up. Pennisi, wow. Yeah. His blog is pretty popular. And, you know, I've gone after Pennisi a few times. I don't really like the guy. But if he writes something that deserves to be read, it deserves to be read. And, you know, I'm not agreeing with Pennisi at all. But when you call somebody, is there anything you can call a gangster worse than being a rat? That's a death sentence. If, you know, basically his family's going to be disrespected and everything. So, you know, Jenny, great show, by the way, Lee. This is so much better than all the fighting of going back and forth. Yes. And you know, what's funny though, Jenny, I said to myself, I didn't want a lot of people in here today. I wanted to do the show. And the worst time to do a show is football Sunday in the afternoon. So I said, let me get in here and do my show and get the hell out. You know, so a lot of people will be looking at this video tonight and stuff. Maz says, pretty rich from Pennisi after amplifying on his own show the falsicity, that Carmen Persco was an informant. You know, you're absolutely right about that. But Maz, here's the question. Just because he did that, you know, he's not the only one reporting on this story being taken down by Gangland News. I heard this before Pennisi put his story up. So that's pretty much why I have it up right now. Okay, so Sean, give me your opinion on it.
You have the right to fact check this story.
Right. And what would you say if, because I know Jerry Capisci got mad at somebody I know that has another show, a small show, and the guy used one of his articles, and Capisci sent him an email blasting him for using one of his articles.
Over copyright issues.
Yes. And this guy, and this was a small show that hardly nobody watches, smaller than mine. So, you know,
Oh, you got it. I mean, even the person putting the content or the article out there, they have to fact check themselves. So they're 100% when somebody else fact checks them.
And you know, when I fact checked this, here's what I fact checked. Yes, the article was originally written. Yes, it was taken down a couple days later. It just disappeared. And we heard nothing about it. Then Pennisi came out and basically called them out and said, look, this article was here. You called this man a rat. Are you going to apologize to him? What's the reason you took it down? Maybe Jerry Capisci took it down because the government asked him to take it down. Maybe there's a legitimate reason why Capisci took it down. And this is what people have to understand.
You're absolutely right.
And that's why, nobody could say Jerry Capisci did a dirty thing. I think this is where Pennisi's messing up, because we do not know why Capisci took the story down. It could be it could be true. The guy could be a rat, or he cannot be a rat. No one knows. And would you put it past the government to ask someone to take a story down, especially the federal government?
Big brother, they can do what they want.
Yep.
How you been doing, Lee? Though you've been doing okay?
Yeah, yeah. I've been doing real good, actually. I feel great, and I just been doing great. I've been enjoying myself. I've been watching a lot of sports. That's why I haven't been doing a lot of live shows. A lot of live shows are a lot of pressure,
right?
And especially when you do them in prime time, and you're going to get a lot of people. And it's not as easy as people think it is. And I don't know if you've been watching, but there's been so much going on with the trolls attacking everybody lately.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So I listened to another show, the Bobby Luisi show.
Yes.
I listened to him, and he's been getting doxxed by he said he was getting doxxed by MRE, was trolling him and doxing him. It's a Christian show.
Yeah, but MRE, yeah, I understand, but MRE doesn't dox people.
No?
No, MRE does not dox people. He'll go after people. I feel like he went after me unfairly at one time, but him and I have our ups and downs. But he goes after the doxers. I don't see MRE doxing anybody.
Well, that's what they were saying. Maybe it was basically they cut up the man's video, and they were just you know how he does the videos, and they used that word doxing. So maybe they misinterpreted.
But they're threatening to dox. They're threatening to dox MRE. They're threatening to give MRE's identity out.
Oh, so, yes, I did hear that.
Yeah. So why are they talking about doxing if they're threatening to do it?
Right.
And it's like what happened with me. And then people said, oh, Lee's crying about it and crying. Now you hear these guys crying about being doxed.
Right. It's a real thing.
The same guys that were involved in doxing me are now being doxed. And who do you think that they think is doing it? Me. But it's not me. I don't do shit like that. And they say we got all this proof, but here it is. The trolls are laughing. These trolls are good. And what they're doing is they want the shows fighting with each other. And who benefits from the shows fighting with each other? Guys like John Alite, because our minds aren't on John Alite. We're fighting with each other. And then people will say to me, Lee, well, you're fighting with people. But in this genre, if you don't fight back, you will not last. You got to fight back. So if I have Fatball Sicilian coming at me, or if I have...
he's still coming at you, Lee? He's still coming at you?
No. I never know. He might change his mind tomorrow. Same with Jimmy. They have their own problems.
Really?
They're being attacked hard.
Wow.
And they're being attacked really hard. Probably harder than I was. And I've been attacked for 2-3 months by these guys. All of them. Right. So, they're kind of getting a taste of their own medicine now.
Right.
I mean, what was happening to me is happening to them now. They can't even turn their backs anymore. They can't even, if they come after me, they're going to get hit from another direction because that's what the trolls want. The trolls want to make it look like I'm attacking them with trolls. I don't know shit about trolls. It's kind of comical. They're making me a lot more powerful than what I am. And
Exactly.
I laugh my ass off. Oh, Lee's behind it. Lee's behind it. It makes me laugh my ass off. It's like, no, I'm not. But if you want to say I am, if you want to make me that much more powerful and have people believe you, go right ahead. You know?
Well, anybody could say that, but it has to be fact checked.
Yes, there's no fact. You know what the trolls do? They'll put evidence out there making it look like it's somebody. They purposely do this. And the naive people fall for it. You know, and see, I literally, someone was, this woman, I did a show yesterday on Josie, a woman that has been checking my past.
I've seen it. The stalker.
Yes. The stuff. But did you see what happened though? Someone set her up where she sent an email, and the woman in my life, Josie, was going to put her shit out there. She told this person in the email, and we got the email. This person that doxed her sent me the email. So, you know, they did the same thing with, like, when I talked to them on the phone, the trolls. The guy set me up. But when I talk on the phone, I never say nothing I don't mean. I always say to myself, it can be, if someone's going to play what I say, you know, I'm going to make sure that what I'm saying, I'm not going to say, oh, wow.
So they did kind of like a double agent move on her type deal.
They did. It was, those trolls were the same people that went after me and got me talking on the phone to them right after I was doxxed and people were calling my phone.
Wow.
So they put out that recording of the call that I had with them, and then they went after Josie, and Josie sent him an email saying, "Oh, I got this information. I could send it to you." So she's saying in the email she's got a bunch of stuff on me she's going to send to them. I mean, this is how sick. If you're going to be involved in this mafia genre, you better be prepared.
Well, she's going to eventually pick other people too to attack.
Who, Josie?
Yeah.
No, she's only been attacking me ever since she's been on. Nobody else. Nobody.
Just you. Just you.
Me.
Okay.
She's done at least maybe almost 10 videos.
10 videos just on you.
Just on me.
Wow.
She literally was she was reading my Google accounts on her show. She was literally reading my Google accounts and talking about that. I said something about a pain clinic, and then saying, because I talked about this pain clinic, that I was hooked on pain pills. Some really sick shit. And, you know, and it was just a bunch of stuff that was like, wow, this lady's, and this is why I don't take these people fighting doxing serious. You know, MRE, he's seen this was going on with Josie, and he's given her a pass on it.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't say nothing about her. You know, it's like, okay, if you're going to go after one person for doxing, you go after everybody for it. Don't pick and choose because you don't like me. Don't pick and choose. You've seen that this woman is actually doxing people and talking about it on her show to everybody. And not many people watch her, but the fact of the matter is she still is putting it out there. So she should be called on it. That's what it comes down to.
Well, that's just like what's going on in life. One side can do and what they want, lawlessness, they don't get held accountable, and then one side's attacked and they get held accountable.
Yeah. And here it's like 5 or 6 of these people on one of me. But, you know, luckily I'm a little bit crazy, so I can handle it. But if you're not, you can't handle it. Like Josie did a show saying that I was a narcissist. Duh. I mean, anybody involved with this is a narcissist. You cannot handle this genre if you're not somewhat of a narcissist. We have people in fantasy world. You know, they got pictures of gangsters and they got tattoos of gangsters and stuff on them. So it's kind of a fantasy world, this whole thing.
You're your own man. I'm my own man. We have a voice and freedom of speech. You know, a lot of people don't like to hear that these days, but you're your own show. I like your content, and you have the right to be you. You have the right for your own opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not going anywhere. You know,
Yeah,
these
that's
guys can
good.
come after me. You know, but here's the thing, and here's what I'm going to say to the pizza man. You see the pizza man; he's new to
I
this.
seen his video, his rant in the car.
But see, here's the thing about him. They're going to take him down, the people that he's going after, because he's cursing, swearing, and threatening people. You can't do that. So you're going to have one of these guys. He's already made several threats toward people, physical threats. I mean, they literally have enough stuff right now to have YouTube shut him down.
Yeah, terminate his show.
Right. And I tried to tell the guy, I said to the guy, I was giving him some advice. And when he does a show yesterday, he goes, and Lee Cole, fuck you too. Get out of my ass. And then he says, but Lee Cole, thank you for shouting me out and helping me get to 1,000. Right.
Well, I mentioned that in his comments because I watched this show. I'm like, did you not see that this man told people to subscribe to your show? Obviously, he's not doing research before his videos, and they're almost like rants and rage-fueled conversations. I got to shut him off after 5 minutes.
And you know the shame part is, I believe that some of the stuff he's saying is true. I believe that he probably's had a very fascinating life, but you got to stop viciously. If you're going to attack people, do it like I do it. Attack them, but don't curse and swear at them. You know, if you're going to take someone on, okay, say he wants to take on Ball Sicilian, take him on, but you can't curse and swear at him and say horrible crap about his wife. That's not cool. And that's where he's making his mistake. And, you know, it's not going to last. I don't see his show lasting unless he stops attacking people.
Yeah, he's going to have to change it up. He's going to have to change his whole show up.
Attacking a different attack. If you're going to attack somebody, you do it within YouTube's guidelines. And because YouTube's very specific about their guidelines. And, you know, and one of the things they say, don't threaten to show up on someone's lawn. Or, you know, like I can think of about 10 threatening things that he has said to Bald Sicilian right now that Bald Sicilian can go and flag him and literally get him shut down. And this is what he has to understand. He could be shut down that easy.
Or they might leave him on. They only want to censor who they censor. Look what they did to Trump. And everybody else got free reigns to do whatever they want.
Yeah, that's true, you know. And listen, I want to talk another thing. Did you see basically that's the article I put up on Campeche, but I want to talk about the Saints of Newark.
The Tony Soprano, okay.
Okay, I call that, someone said it best yesterday, the Saints of Newark.
Newark?
Yeah, I'm sorry, woke, new woke.
Wokeism.
It was so woke, it destroyed it. I mean, it had great potential, but they put so much woke into that Sopranos movie that it sucked. That's just my opinion. I know some people said they like it, and
did you watch it?
Yes.
So, scale to 1 in 10, what would you give it?
3.
3?
3. It was horrible. You know, it was a work of fiction, total fiction. Like, I'll give you an example. The woman that came over from Italy that married his father. Then she's having an affair on him with the head of the black gang, just to piss her husband off. And he winds up killing her. Well, I'm sorry. Let me not, people may not have seen it. But anyway, it was like they just put it together for the sake of putting it together. There was no,
because of
like, she woke up and, yeah, she woke up and they showed a scene. She's in bed with this guy, his enemy. They don't talk about how she met him and how she got there. She was just in bed with him. Wow. It was just so, it looked like, it was just horrible. I'm very surprised that Chase would put something together like this.
So if you looked at the old show, 8, 9 seasons, this doesn't even come close to that.
No, absolutely not. But if you remember the last 2 years of The Sopranos, though, they started going woke with the son.
Right.
And wokeism started destroying the last year or two of The Sopranos. And they had, what was the son's name in The Sopranos?
It was
Jay something. But anyway, the son started going really woke on him. You know, they started talking about that he was anti-war. He was like on medication. It was really bad.
Yeah, and then a real gruesome scene is where he was in the swimming pool and he tied a brick to his ankle and he was trying to commit suicide.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to read a couple of these. Luisi had MRE scared. I never heard him so scared. He wasn't laughing and mocking out Luisi. He was basically apologizing and whining to Luisi that he barely did anything to him. Yeah, I heard that too. The truth. I think that MRE actually thinks that this guy might have stuff on him. Because he did come off that way to me too. Lee, are you going to release the rest of the A-Light tapes? I'm thinking about it. I'll be honest, DP. With everything that's going on right now, with all the threats going on and all the infighting right now, I got to be careful about what I do. I released a couple of them. Tanya played them. It's just something that I got to think about, and it's on me because I'm not going to have my show taken down because of some crybabies crying about some tapes I put up. And they already did it. You know, when I came up with the tapes, they were all happy about it, but everybody was bitching about it. I mean, look at them, all the shows. Oh, Lee tapes people and stuff. You know, anyone with a podcast should be put out front street and stop hiding behind their keyboard. Show your face, MRE. Darren, I'm going to tell you what, I used to think like that. But then when I see what happens with the doxing and everything, I don't think that way as much anymore, because once you show your face in the mafia genre, everything's open. I mean, look what's happened with Paul Sicilian and his wife. I mean, look how bad it's getting there. I mean, I literally feel bad when I'm watching that and see some of this shit. Even though he may think it's me, it's not. I feel kind of nauseous about some of the shit I see. So, you know, it is getting out of hand. I agree with you on that, Jeff. She's definitely a nut job. And you know what? She's playing with the wrong nut. You know, I ignored her for quite a while, but now she has my full attention. And if she wants to get ugly like this, I'm sure you people know I can be ugly. So, you know, MRE is going to the end in the trunk and in the weeds, messing with real gangsters like Luisi and A-Light. Well, a lot of people would argue about you with A-Light, but there's no doubt that A-Light did have some history on the street. And that's the problem. People want to say he doesn't. A-Light did some bad shit on the street. People want to say, no, he was just this wacky guy running around. That's not true. That's not true. Is that you, that wind or something?
Yeah.
I mean, I hear something that keeps...
No, it's pretty windy here at fall. You know, everything's falling off the trees, and it's pretty beautiful right now.
And what state are you in?
I'm in California.
Oh, you lucky bat. Well, not lucky to be in there politically, but
no, Lee, I'm away. I'm about 45 minutes from many cities, you know, so I'm 6,500 feet, you know, I'm in the mountains.
Oh, you are? So you're up north more than...
No, I'm down south.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I live down in Oceanside. Are you down in that area?
No, I'm in Riverside County.
Oh, Riverside County. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually stayed in Oceanside more like it for 3 months and loved it. Oh my God. I just love the weather. I just love the weather there. You can't beat the weather of Southern California. I mean,
It's a shit show down there. You got homeless people, tents, and everything.
Yeah, I couldn't. No, and I was there about 10 years ago, maybe. So
It's changed, Lee. It's changed.
I can only imagine at that time. That was a whole different time in my life too. Jenny, you can't address all the trolls. Look at the larger political channels like the Young Turks and Steven Crowder. They get attacked constantly. Oh, Jenny, you're so right. What's happening to us is nothing. It's like what's happening to them. But I think Steven Crowder gets attacked a lot more than the Young Turks. Steven Crowder gets attacked by YouTube. The Young Turks don't. And that's what the difference is, I would say, between, Crowder. I mean, they've been, they take down his show. It's ridiculous. If Crowder says one thing that they don't like, they'll take down his show. What do you think about that?
Crazy.
You watch Steven Crowder?
No.
Okay, Josie is one of those boring women, always puts her nose where it doesn't bleed, basically bored and nosy. That isn't true. She made a comment, not an email. You are lying. Fax is, I know who you are, fax is, just so you do know. And this is just another person that everybody knows that doesn't have the guts to use their real name. And they want to jump on here and call me a troll. Okay. MRE is scared of Luisi. I don't think MRE is scared of him. I think MRE is being careful with him. I think there's two different things. Lee, how many people has mob shows reports kidnapped, killed, or eaten? None yet, I don't think. But let me tell you something. That could change real quick. With the shit going on out here right now, listen, I had a mixed martial arts fighter send me a picture on my phone and threaten to come take care of me. I mean, that's how crazy this is.
He was in front of your house?
No. He sent it to me on my phone where I lived, and he says, I know where you live. And it was a threat. And then he came on my show and admitted that he sent it and threatened me. I mean, this is a guy that can kill me easily. He's a professional fighter. Okay. Laugh out loud. Leave the Damien thing up. No. Were you threatened by Damien, dude? No, I was. Okay. Mob rats exposed simping for a prostitute. Mob rats, loyalty is everything. Mob rats, so you want to come on and talk about this thing with Luisi? If that is Mob rats, because last night Mob rats came on Fat Ball Sicilian show, and it wasn't Mob rats, and they put something up, from what I understand, that was really fucked up. So nobody's safe from these trolls, I'll tell you that much. I'm going to put my link down, Mob rats, if you want to come up. I would like to talk to you about the Luisi thing.
I like Bobby Luisi. He's a nice guy, good Christian man, changed his life around.
Yeah, but he just basically came out and said he knows who this guy is. So is he lying? How Christian is he if he's lying that he doesn't really know who MRE is?
Maybe it was a thing just to make him back off. Maybe he was upset, I guess, that he cut his video up.
Yeah. Well, something, Mob Rats came after me. I'm sure you've seen some of the shows pretty hard.
I've seen some of it.
I took it. I didn't, and I fought back with Mob Rats. We had some wars. You can go back and look at my library. I had plenty of battles with Mob Rats. But, I got away from that. One of the first conversations I ever had with Mob Rats, when he came on my show, was I said, I know who you are. I know who you are. I didn't know who he was.
Right.
But it was like a thing. I was like trying to, scare him by saying that.
Right. Exactly.
It didn't work, but maybe he knew who it was.
Leverage.
Hey, what's up?
Am I in here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're in here, my man.
Am I? All right. I can't tell. I can't see my thing. All right.
Oh,
Right. Now, what were you asking? So, is fucking what's that? Sling Blade. You trying to say I was scared of Bobby Luisi? Are you fucking nuts?
I didn't say that.
No, not you, Lee.
Yeah.
Sling Blade over here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you some French fries, you jerk off. I'm not scared of nobody. You can watch my fucking videos. I'm not scared of that fake pasta stool pigeon. Not scared of none of these people. They don't know who I am, because if they knew who I was, they would have fucking doxed me a long time ago.
Oh shit.
So what do you think of that, Sean? You got the man right here, you know.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I'm no legend. I'm no myth. I have a stupid YouTube channel. But proceed. Sorry to cut you off.
Well, I mean, it's doing something. You get people talking about you. I mean,
It's not about them talking about me. It's about getting under the stool pigeon skin.
we have motive.
I have good motive. Very good motive.
Well, MRE, while I have you here, I'd like to ask you something that's kind of bothering me, and I got you.
All right, you can ask it, but I don't want to get involved with all this stupid like drama, beef, and stuff.
No, I'm not talking about something stupid.
All right, ask me.
Okay, you talk about doxing. You literally have a woman coming out doxing me on her show.
And I disagree with that 100%. But what should I do? Should I make videos? And I even told you I took that video, the one I yelled at you and doxed. I took that down. Okay, I'm not going to be making videos and sticking up for people and doing that stupid shit no more. I'm not going to do that. I don't agree with it. I think doxing is disgusting. I think it's disgusting. They shouldn't be putting shit out on you. I agree with that. Now, what are the people like in the chat for me to go make a video and swear at everybody?
No. I want to ask you another thing. What do you think about these attacks they have now going on at FBS, which are pretty
disgusting.
hard?
It's gross. It's gross.
And what bothers me is they still think I'm behind that nasty stuff, and you know I'm not.
Well, I don't know you're not. I just don't think you are. I don't think,
and I'm not.
I don't.
Right.
I don't think Lee made them pages. Maybe you tried to warm up to them and tried to get them to help you with a fight. I could be wrong though. Maybe you tried.
You're right. You're right.
All right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe you tried to warm up to them, hedge fight, but I do not believe you made that channel, because I've been watching these troll groups go around, and I really highly doubt that it's you and the Zod crew. I doubt that, but you never know. But I doubt it. From my experience over the years and watching troll groups, who they're communicating with, what they're doing, I don't think it's you behind that.
Well, listen, I watched the show last night. I was disgusted, and I'll be totally honest with you. I don't care what he thinks, but I was disgusted because I could see it affected him, and he was off. He wasn't himself. It really bothered him, and we got to be prepared for this because it's only going to get worse.
Well, if you ignore them, it will. That's why, listen, you can't feed them. Listen, you know what trolls survive off? Saying their names, giving them attention, knowing it bothers them. Because here's what trolls do. If you don't react to them, they get bored and they go to somebody that they will get a reaction from. I know. Like, this is the only community that I don't troll because I'm a content creator, but I've trolled many communities with many of troll groups and shit like that. So I know what they feed off and when they get bored and they just give up because they're not responding. So as long as you don't respond and feed into it, you know, you'll be all right.
How do you deal with the trolls that troll you?
I love it. I think it's great. As long as they're not talking sexually about women, saying they're going to and doing creepy stuff or like giving out people's real names in the chat. I let trolls stay in my chat. I don't care what they say. Like I said, as long as it's not perverted, degenerate, I let them make fun of me all day long. I don't mind.
What do you think of this new guy that's on the scene now?
Who? I don't even know.
The pizza man.
I don't know. He looks like a jerk. He sounds like a jerk off. I don't know the guy. Friends with Sammy, must be a jerk off. Threatening to go to people's houses, must be a jerk off.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't know much about the guy.
You know, and I try to tell him that if he keeps threatening people on his YouTube channel, it's going to get taken down.
No, it will stay up. You can threaten people on YouTube all day long, but he's just not going to be taken serious. How can you take a guy like him serious anyways? Head up Sammy Gavano's ass, who kills young boys and rats on people, but yet says he's this big bad gangster. It's ridiculous. Like, and saying they're going to go to people's houses. This is YouTube. Keep it on YouTube. The guy's a moron. He's only got some like idiot trolls behind him. Nobody that really support him.
Well, I had
These guys are idiots.
I had a professional MMA fighter threaten to come to beat me up at my house. I mean, so this is real at times.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it serious. Nobody's gonna come to your house, dude. Trust me.
Well, I mean, you don't know. You don't know though. This stuff can get serious. I mean, it's on YouTube, like you say, fun and games, but it could get real quick.
It could with certain people. You're right. It could, but I don't think nobody would go to Lee's house. Lee's an older gentleman, and he's in Texas. These fucking Texans will blow you the fuck away.
I will. If someone came to my house, I will stream it and that will be my biggest video ever.
I believe it too, and it really would. Like if someone, that would be a terrible mistake to try to go to some. I'm not trying to make fun of you, Lee, but some old dude in Texas go try to bully him. You'd get fucking hurt. They would hurt you. That Texas group.
I live in a senior community where everybody packs.
Forget about it.
You got the old ladies walking around with 38s in their purse.
Listen, anybody stupid enough to go there would leave in a body bag or be arrested, and the Texas Rangers would break their heads. The local police would break their Yankee heads. It would be stupid on anybody.
Do you know the town I live in has 4? The sheriffs are here, the Texas Rangers, the state police, and the town police are all in the same town, and there's a little county jail. This is where they train them. This part of Texas.
I wouldn't be worried about anybody going to your house. And hold on, someone in the chat, Joe, why does MRE care about doxing? It's just the point of it, because you shouldn't give people things out. And Joe, you shouldn't beat your sister. You talk tough in here, but we know some people that know you. Your buddy who used to chat with you in the chat. Maybe you shouldn't beat your sister up, you fucking abusive prick.
But this is something that I've been hearing a lot about, that a lot of people are saying FBS keeps deleting his videos. And I've heard that from several people.
That wasn't me. Sorry to cut you off, but I got to go in a minute anyways. But that wasn't me who went on his stream yesterday neither.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, because they put something up he didn't like. And you could tell.
They didn't put it up about his wife, so I don't blame him for that.
I don't blame him either. You know, I hate seeing that, because now they're doxing the woman in my life. They're actually, Josie literally sent an email to somebody saying that I have her name. I'll send you her stuff.
Yeah, nobody should be involved in that kind of fanoikery of sending people's info and sending people. That's just some dumb, low IQ, low bant. You can't get to nobody's skin. You got no jokes. So all you got to do is threatening people with ad. That's just stupid to me. I have some good troll game. I don't need to resort to that fucking low level, low IQ orangutan banter.
Now, what do you think about Jerry Capisci taking down that article where you called that guy a rat, and the article disappeared the following day?
I don't know nothing about that, Lee.
Well, I did on my show today. Pennisi did an article today on how Capisci took this article down, calling this older captain in the Colombo family a rat. And then it turned out that maybe he's not a rat and was accidentally put up. No, it was put up, and the guy was claimed to be a rat by Capisci.
Who said he was the rat? Ghostly Johnny the ghost boy?
No, the guy's name is DeLuca, Dennis DeLuca, and he's a captain.
I don't know none of these people. Nothing about that. Man.
Well, you remember the Colombo bust, right? A couple weeks ago.
I heard about something like that, but I don't know who got busted. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a mob historian or nothing, but yeah, I did hear about it, but I don't know nothing about it or the Capisci thing at all.
And Pennisi went after Capisci pretty hard with this blog, basically saying Capisci messed up and he should apologize to the guy. So,
well, I don't like John, but he's right on that. I don't like Pennisi one bit. I think he's a fucking paranoid nutcase. But I do agree with him. Maybe Capisci should take that down.
He did take it down. The article disappeared a day or two right after he wrote it, so it was taken off. He said the guy was a rat, and then 2 days later it's down. And he never. Well,
Jerry Capisci's known. Look what he listened to anything Alite said. Aledo said anything to him, and he listened. He didn't fact check none of the Brazil stuff, and so Capisci's known. Is that him? The Capisci no, that's anesthesia. I'm sorry. Yeah. They work together, I believe, but yeah, well. At least, yeah, he took it down, but he shouldn't be listening to people and call people. Before you call a man a stool pigeon or a pedophile, you better have proof on that. You better have paperwork and real solid fucking proof on paper. Well, those are two things you never call a man.
Definitely not. You know, and you've seen that happen with me actually on this channel, on this genre. People using that word pedophile.
Yeah, that was disgusting and so false and untrue. That's when, listen, the people will call you a pedo when they have no bants, they have no skills, they can't make jokes, so they resort to this stupid, dumb thing. And why is he a pedo? Because he's an older dude? That's retarded.
And that's Jimmy A. Light's line. He sent me a couple texts after Tanya did those tapes. He sent me a couple texts saying, well, you're a fucking pedo, and I got him on my answer machine calling me a pedo. It was like he was threatening, that's the tack we're going to use on you now.
Yep.
We're going to make you into a pedophile.
No one's going to believe that, though. No one's going to believe that. You know, it's weak. Let them call you that. You win the argument right there when they call you that, because there's no such thing of you would never do something like that. You're a grandfather. You got kids. People looked you up anyways.
Yes,
you're not
yes. And that's the first thing that pops up on anybody.
Of course. If somebody's a pedophile, the first thing pops up is you're a pedo sex crime. There's nothing worse than a sex crime. And you don't have nothing like that. So when they use that on you, don't let it bother you, because they're losing the argument. Like Stax lost the argument that day. As soon as he brought that up, he lost the argument. In my opinion.
Keep it straight. I'm a kidnapper. I'm not a pedo, you know?
Well, technically not even okay, I consider like a real kidnapper someone who's going to go abduct some woman. You didn't do that. Maybe you should have let her out. I wasn't there. You know, you were being chased by bounty hunters, I hear.
I was being
The girl wanted to get out of the car. You're like, no way, I'm going to get arrested. That's not kidnapping like some creep.
Well, you just called it exact. That's exactly what happened. I had right behind me bounty hunters from California. Behind them, chasing them, were cops. But the cops did me a favor because they pulled the bounty hunters over, and I got away.
Yeah, so I don't consider that. So I wouldn't, if I was you, I wouldn't give no thought to none of these people calling you that disgusting stuff. It can't be. It's ridiculous.
But you know, it's caused a lot of damage between me and her. She's very upset about it, and I can't. But when you get into this mafia genre stuff, you got to be prepared for anything. There's a lot of crazy.
And that's why I don't show my face or say who I am. Listen, if someday somebody does dox me, you will see that I have nothing like. As long as you have no sexual crimes, what are you going to be worried about? I never raped no women or hurt any kids, so I don't really give a fuck if they know who I am. But you got to think: do I want my children, my wife tortured? Things like that? No. So obviously that's why I hide, and I love my anonymity. I like the anonymity that I got to keep. You know.
I say if you come on here, if you're a domestic abuser or a child molester or a rapist, you're going to be destroyed by everybody.
Yes, of course, and you won't last. You'll be drummed out.
You ain't going to ever, not even one domestic abuse, and believe me, I wanted to have some domestic abuses in my life. But
yeah, as long as you don't have nothing like that, people are not gonna care what you did. As long as you didn't, like I said, as long as you didn't hurt women or hurt children or stuff like that, nobody's gonna care. But when you've got people like, oh, show your face, like I wouldn't be effective what I do. I'm not a content creator that does mob history. I torture stool pigeons, and you see how these stool pigeons are very vindictive. Okay, they're very vindictive. Look what they've done. They put penis pictures on people's mothers, call people pedophiles like they're doing with Lee. They do the most disgusting shit. Look what they're doing to FBS's wife.
Oh my
All
God,
this disgusting shit. You know,
when I got doxxed on that guy's channel, the first thing that happened to me, I literally had grown men sending me pictures of their penis. I'm like, I'm 60, dude. Why are you showing me your penis?
They're degenerates. Pure degenerates.
But every one of them had a 12-inch penis. I'm like,
I don't want to hear about that, but
they were just like sending me fake penis pictures.
Yeah, it's low. It's like they couldn't even think of nothing funny or nothing. Like it's just degenerate stuff, and they must be Ricky Yoons themselves to be having them pictures on them. It's, you know what I mean? That'd be the last thing I would send somebody, a picture of a penis.
Well, the worst show to ever get doxxed on was Beach Stacks, and those were the people that came at me, and still to this day.
All the trolls, like like when that got out, like everybody's seen it. So you got a bunch of different troll groups and A-Light freaks and those kind of pervert people just going to run with that, of course.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? I feel I'm mentally better now than I was, so I don't give a shit. You know, you learn, you live and learn when you're in this doing this.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm gonna leave. I would just say, I would leave all the drama stuff behind because it helps the rats. Because when everybody, and I loved your show on Sammy Gravano, by the way, Trash and Sammy, and I love your hatred for Sammy. I love that about
I'll
Lee.
never change that.
And don't get me wrong, there's times where I'd like to string Lee up. I'm just joking though, but you know what I mean.
True. Yeah.
Like we don't. Yeah, people don't always get along, and we disagree. We can fight at times, but I love how he attacks Sammy, and I hate Sammy, and I hate all these rats. And I'm here to make fun of rats.
Out of all these guys, Sammy's the worst because Sammy, you know, the Alan Kaiser thing is he admitted that he did the murder, and now he says it was somebody else that did the murder that was with him.
But notice this though. But when Vidal Sassoon / Jimmy the Helmet slept over his house for that weekend slumber party that he paid for, when he came back, he told a story how Sammy killed Alan Kaiser in a drive-by. Yeah. So it's just like, did maybe Sammy talked about that story when Jimmy was there? Who knows? Or maybe the Helmet was just going on pure window licking stuff and just talked stupid. Who knows? But I would say stay on the stool pigeons, keep making fun of them, keep the heat on them, fight with other content creators helps the stoolies out because we're not focusing on them. So if I was one of these stool pigeons, I would insert trolls to make the content creators fight so they can't focus on us as much. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I came on today. I did two stories on it wasn't attacking nobody.
Well, hey, I gotta leave, guys. God bless you. Go slow.
You take care. Hey, so how do you feel, Sean? You were here and you had the great MRE show up.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, he's not somebody you want to go up against because whoever he is, he's very smart and he knows how to talk. And that's
there's a mystique behind him. It's almost like Rey Mysterio Jr. with the mask. You know, you never knew who was behind it. You know, it was a mystique.
Let's see what Joey Electric attacking everyone included, calls out MRE for not showing his face, yet Joey Electric shows no face with a fake name. Okay, you just been called out, Joey Electric. I'm not trying to troll you. Go back and listen to yourself. Okay, Maz, he's not even being careful, just straight. He gave what Luisi said full context and then did his usual, shake that tree, watch the informant's fake personas fall out all over the place. Yeah, and that's it. And all these informants have fake, and they all use the famous line that I found God. You ever notice that, Sean? All these guys,
right,
that have rallied, that's they want to help the children, and they found God. That's their big thing. That's their go-to lines now.
Well, if they're actually doing it and acting and doing that stuff, more power to them. But I see what you're saying, that they'll say it, but they don't. There's no action.
Yeah. And, you know, you can't say it and then all of a sudden be like threatening to tell somebody's identity and shit. Right. Basically, you would, you know, if you're a godly man, basically, you know, they tell you to turn your face and walk away. That's why I'm not going to pretend I'm a godly man. I have trouble doing that. If someone comes at me, I'm going to go back at them. I wish I could control myself, but I can't. That's just who I am. You know?
Right. Lee, I got to get ready to go to work.
No problem, man. You take care.
Thank you.
Okay, people, I'll take some questions here. We'll go through them and then I'm going to dip out of here. But the truth, you know, you got that dent above your lip when you were with your mother. I don't understand what that's. Joey Electric MRE is your typical internet tough guy. MRE clearly got under their skin too. Mission is accomplished time and again. Yes. MRE abused this guy, Sean. He needs it. Okay. Best to ignore her, Lee, and just let her show herself up. I'm done with her. You know, you know, now it's up to her what she wants to do. It's great to watch everyone, Lee. MRE, a great out. I appreciate that, XSX. Thank you. You know, that's the big question, that whole thing that happened that night. Because I was shocked when I seen it, Joey. But, you know, the laughing part I was shocked at. But, you know, you got to be careful, because when people say stuff like that, right away you got to correct it. You got to say, don't say that. I don't believe in what you said. But that's the problem. That was the mistake that made. Jimmy should have corrected it at that moment, but he did not. Let us forget, Luisi did not know what the office was. Okay. I think the rats are behind it. Tony, the rats are behind a lot of things, but with the trolling, I don't think the rats are behind the trolling. I just think that these guys are professional trollers. They're good at it. And they keep us kind of straight, too. I mean, who cares if FBS laughed at the N-word? People laugh at anything anymore. Okay. Whether you agree or not, people still have the right to laugh at whatever they want. Hey, listen, and people have the right to have their opinion, just like you're doing. So, you know, totally understand. No, I don't listen to most of them. Maybe if MRE and Button Man are doing something actually informative, I find Calander especially uninteresting. Luisi was a pastor. Alonzo Esposito in Memphis, Tennessee, when he was in Whitstick. The videos are on YouTube. Soon he left Whitstick in 2018. He was no more pastor. Johnny, that's a great point. And you brought up something that a lot of people don't know. So that means you're really on your shit. Eagles, yeah, I got to see what's going on. Okay, people, I've been on an hour and 16 minutes. Kenny, I'm going to end it with you. They laugh because that's how they all feel about black people. Otherwise, they would have corrected the guy for saying it. Kenny, that's what I say. It should have been corrected at that moment. End of story. You know, people could say whatever they want. But Ken, see, I appreciate your last comment. Everybody, take care. Jenny, Antonio, John, and whoever else is here. I appreciate everybody showing up. And Jason. Oh, Josie, show the email lead. Josie, you're still at it? Josie, I'm going to give you some advice, Josie. Go away. This will get uglier. Okay? Just stop. You're making yourself look so bad right now, attacking one person continuously. I know you hate me. Okay, you proved your point. You hate me. I'm not going anywhere. You know everything about my life now. You turned my life upside down. You went through my Google accounts. You went through any crime I committed. You went through the places I lived. You looked at my old phone numbers. You did shows on them. That's it. You're done. Okay? Because now it's getting at the point where you're kind of looking mentally ill. They didn't correct it because they understood the context and the way of the N-word used in that particular situation. It wasn't meant to be hateful. No, Jason T, it wasn't meant to be hateful. I don't think those guys believe that. But the fact of the matter is, when you're on these channels, if someone does something like that, you got to correct it right away. And, you know, that's it. You know, people can disagree with me. That's just the way I feel on it. I've had people get on the show and use that word. And the minute they said it, I said, I don't feel that way. I disown you. And that's that. You know, he was doing the perv walk in the mall video. You know, actually, I seen that video of the mall. He's not nearly as, he actually looks like he's in fairly decent shape. That's no secret. Bowie has told the story on his show. Yep. Darren, that's true. It's 100% truly. I've been talking on the phone with Luisi since 2016. Josie, why do you hate Lee? That's a great question. She hates me more than women. Some of my ex hate me. Josie's still looking for Carmen Santiago. Josie is very strange. See, Josie, look at these negative remarks. What you're doing is not, you're affecting yourself now because you don't really bother me. I'm just going to hit you with a show every time you do it. And this is going to be go back and forth, back and forth. Joey Electric, I don't ban anybody that's served in the military unless they get some radical things. So, you know. The guy that says, "What up, Slee?" Your name, I won't even put it up. He's skinny with a gut, terrible shape. Well, I'm the one that could talk about shape. Check this out. Someone put a picture up of me. I used to weigh 400 pounds. And then, you know, that was back in 2000, the middle 2000s. And I lost a lot of weight. I've gained some weight back, but I'm half the man I used to be. And they put that picture up like it just used to be Lee. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, but that's not who I am now. I'm 60 years old. I'm still alive. You know, if I stayed that weight, I would not be alive. I mean, I was in my 40s. And, you know, I've been a cook most of my life. I love to cook. I love food. I absolutely love food. That's my weakness. My drug is food. You know, it's not pain pills. It's food. I don't hate Lee. It's the hypocrisy, the lies. He challenged me to put it up, and he got his wish. I have never emailed anyone about his girlfriend. If so, show me the email. That was showed the other night. You were actually conversating with somebody. You know who you were conversating with. Josie, the best thing to do is stop mentioning me. Just go your own way. You know, I never said nothing negative about you. You just started attacking me, sticking up for these other people, like anybody. You stood up for Stacks because I went after Ramondi. Your hate for me is so much that even when I'm right, you go after me. You know, this is when someone really hates somebody so much that they'll look past everything, even when the person's right. And that's what you're doing right now. I have no issues with you, Josie. I think you're a nice woman. I was one of the first people that ever subscribed to your show. And then the next thing I knew, I turned on your show and you were attacking me. And it hasn't stopped for 2 months now. You're being used. These other people are using you. And that's it. You know, and you might think so. You think it's normal to go into my Google accounts? To go tear my Google accounts apart and come? Do you think that's normal? Do you think it's normal to look up my addresses to see I committed crimes? Did I ever say I wasn't a criminal? But that was 10 years ago, Josie. I've been a good boy. Okay? You know, there's nothing, you're not going to find domestic abuse on me. You're not going to find rape or child injury or anything like that on me. So the shit you're finding on me right now is stupid stuff. It's not going to affect me whatsoever. So the hypocrisy, this is the mafia genre. Most of the people here are that word that you were using the other day, narcissist. You know how many women I've been with that have called me a narcissist? A lot. So yes, I'm a narcissist, but don't you think you are by the way you're attacking me continuously? The way that you're contacting Tanya, you're contacting Tanya and giving her information on me. Do you think that's normal? I mean, you're here. This is how I feel. So you do what you want. You know, we could just put this to the side and move on. I'm asking you to please do that. And I'll never mention you negatively ever again. Lee, well, not like a woman beater, more Joey Electric. Well, one thing I can say, I've never beaten a woman in my life. I've never hit a woman. Never. Never in my life. I've had women hit me a few times, and never did I hit them back. You could check my records, and you'll never find anything domestic abuse about me. The biggest mistake that I made was when I was being chased by the police. I didn't let a woman out of the car because it was the middle of a police chase. That's it. And I got in trouble for that. I regret it. I regret that I did that. But it wasn't like, this is a person that was in my life. It's not like I went out looking for someone to throw in my van and take off. And these are the stories you don't, or anybody that reads those articles, it says it right in the article. It says he was being chased by bounty hunters, and the bounty hunters were behind him, and the bounty hunters got pulled over. If you go read the article, it says it right in the article. Feels like Luisi claims he found God, but an egotistical attitude hasn't changed. All gangsters are egotistical. If you're going to be a gangster, you got to be it. I can't, you got to take that down, that image of you, man. Mob Show report. Good. I appreciate that, Mob Show. That means a lot. Give me the name of your therapist. I will make an appointment. See, Josie, you're clever. You're an intelligent woman. There's no doubt. Okay. So this is why this is also unnecessary. Okay. Josie, he will help you out of that for sure. Josie, if you're talking hypocrisy, then why don't you target others? Most of them lie and have dirt to be found. Josie, do you know how many people you stick up for against me that actually do have records of abusing women? One of the people you stick up for had somebody on his show. He gave the phone number to a woman he knew because he was mad at that woman, to his friend who terrorized the woman. How come? And then you put that person's name in your mouth and you talk about how good that person is. But there's evidence that they did this. What about review? I guess. Josie, you want to come on the show? I'm going to drop a link. Josie, you want to come on the show and talk to me? Okay, let me show you. I was going to go, but you know what? Here's the link. If you want to come in here, you're more than welcome to come in here and talk to me and tell me how bad I am. The link's there, Josie. Josie, Joey Electric, I don't take sides. I watch all channels. You don't. And that's true. But I'll tell you one thing about U.S. Army. He writes me emails when he disagrees with me. That's the way it should be. Because I know that sometimes I do stupid stuff or I can get overbearing, and U.S. Army Combat Medic sends me emails telling me how he feels. That's why I totally respect him. And plus, he's a military man. Oh, God, dude. I must agree with Lee. Josie turned on him. The whole thing very bizarre. Josie is obsessed. Hey, listen, Josie's an attractive woman. I don't care if she's obsessed with me. I doubt that's the case. And people laugh at me because I don't say obsessed. I say possessed. I've done that mistake twice now and gotten hell for it. Or whatever. J.C. West, the voice of reason. She can't see. She's getting tricked into fight with you, Lee. She's told. I believe she is being tricked into fighting with me. She's a very intelligent woman, and that's the type of woman they want to have go at me. IG in England, where's she from? Come on, guys, be nice to her. The doxing labeling without proof is all weak, simple, and unintelligent drama made by people who actually can't argue and debate as men, cheap shots. I agree with you, Andre. Johnny Rizzo, I totally agree with you. He gets a free pass. And he did a story today about how they pulled some innocent guy out of the car and beat him on the head with gun butts. And I'm thinking to myself, what is entertaining about this? He's talking about pulling some innocent guy out of a car and beating him on the head with a gun butt. Josie, if you have evidence, any other thing he says here, no, to show, yeah. And you know what, Kenzie? She might have evidence that I'm a no good prick. I never said otherwise. But like I said, you're not going to find evidence that I've hurt women, children, or that evidence you're not going to find. Sure, you can find shit on me. That I stole money in my life? Yeah, I stole money. I stole a lot of money in my life. I stole more money than most people will see in a year, in their lifetime, in 1 year. But you know what? It got me locked up. It had me running from the law for years. So, okay, I'm going to take a couple more. Leah's been a target from day one. Jimmy, you know, I hate to say it, but it has been day one. But it's not just one show. It's like the group of them, the gang of six or whatever. They just keep coming and coming and coming. But they don't realize I'm not going anywhere. One thing that bugs me about Calandra is he laughed about running a guy over with, yep. And what are you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
All right. You know, I always like it, Lee, when people do those psychology lists and they start saying, okay.
I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
We'll do the old psychology list. Well, trait number 1 is this. Does he have that? Sure. Trait 2, does he have that? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You know how that is, Lee. Anybody can make anything look like anything in psychology. If I want to make you look like a nutcase, I can easily take 30 different checklist items and find 16 of them that match you.
And I will agree with people. I am nuts. So yeah. it's not like everybody in here is nuts. Anybody that deals with this genre is
most of us weird. Are nuts.
Yeah, I know I am. So, you know, I'm a narcissist. Thank you. I know I am. Any word you find out, you know, there's a lot of things I am. But it's like I said, I've never hit a woman. I don't hurt children. And that's it, you know.
Yeah. Hey, you got the Stacks video, by the way?
What video is that?
The Stacks fight video.
Yes.
There was people requesting it earlier.
All they got to do is go to my show and turn it on.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all they got to do.
So yeah, look, anybody can be made to be anything with those lists, Lee. And you know, if you wanted to take Josie's shows and take a checklist of psychology stuff, you could make her out to be crazy as well. You know, it's two can play that game. I think it's a dumb game, but people play. You know, they still want to do this stuff and. You got haters online, Lee. You got trolls. You got clowns. It is what it is. This whole clown tube genre.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you see the way that what's his name's going at Jimmy, Sonny Money? Out of everybody, I think he's been harder on Jimmy than anybody.
I know. I've tried to tell Sonny to chill a bit, but he's not going to listen to me that much. But yeah, and look, there's Calandra made a big mistake months ago by putting Sonny Money's name in the title of one of his videos. He should never have. He helped breathe life into Sonny, and Sonny's being smart in one sense. He's capitalizing on it by getting his name out there, and you'll see where it goes. I wouldn't recommend the way he's going at Calandra by any means. No.
especially when you live right up the street from him. And Jimmy looks a little bit like.
There's really
hey,
no need
Albanian,
for it, and really all it does is, he's going to gain more than Calandra will from a beef, because obviously he's got just a few hundred subs, and Calandra has a lot more than that. So, I understand from his point of view if all he's trying to do is get attention, but I would advise Sonny, if you're watching, get better types of attention than that. There's a lot better ways to do it.
Hey, JC, the Albanian syndicate says that JC's moving weight across state lines.
Not anymore. I haven't done that in a while. I get unless you consider an eighth of dank on the Amtrak train to Reno last summer. I guess that's some real weight nowadays, huh? A $50 bag of diggity across the Navelli border. Hardcore, guys.
Hey, Mustache Pete says Sonny's a lot smarter than everyone thinks. He is fully aware of the buttons he's pushing. Absolutely. He is not nearly as stupid as people are making him out to be.
Yeah, Sonny understands that he only has gain to come from this in terms of views and all that. They should never have mentioned him. Like I said, it was if they didn't want him around, saying his name was the last thing they should have done.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna close out my show now. I'm gonna watch some football.
All right, hey, thank you for having me on. All right,
okay, you take care, my man.
You too.
Okay, everybody, take care. I'm gonna be signing out of here. I appreciate whoever showed up today. Thank you very much, and it's been an hour and a half. I appreciate everything. Josie, take care. I hope that you come back being the sweetheart you can be. It's your choice, Josie.